All right, welcome everyone to another episode of Modern Wong Chat. This is where the show where I get to talk a little bit about myself, but mostly with my guests. It's kind of like having a little nice coffee, catching up with old friend. And tonight, one of my good old friend is Matt. He is an extraordinary person, a lot of fun, and the best part is that he has a very nice mustache. Oh, but he also is the head of social media at DeviantArt, so we can talk about that just a little bit more too. So let me go ahead and welcome Matt.
Hey.
All right, hello there, Matt. So
Hey.
I keep saying just Matt because I don't want to mess up your last name.
I've got a terrifying last name.
It's just that I don't want to mess it up, butcher it. So
my last name is pronounced Buchholtz, which is apparently not the quote unquote real pronunciation of it, but how my family pronounces it. So like if you imagine the C is an E, like the word hue, but Bu.
Okay. Is it
Sure.
What language? German?
German, yeah.
Yeah. It looks like German.
It's one of those ones where it goes way back. I'm just a mutt somewhere.
It's possible they do that thing where they come to America and then have to change it up a little bit too, and then that happens to a lot.
I always do the what does my name mean quizzes, and it's like, oh, it means birchwood or beechwood, and I'm like, that's cool.
I feel like it changed every time.
I lived on the corner of Beechwood and Victory when I first moved out to LA, and I was like, it's a sign.
Nice.
Like I'm gonna make it in LA.
I mean, you could literally steal the sign and say it's a sign because it's a sign. Yeah. It's your name on it. So actually, I'm looking at your background right now. You are actually at DeviantArt right now, aren't you?
I'm at DeviantArt. Yes, I'm head of social media for DeviantArt. So I manage everything that you see currently on DeviantArt that is not on DeviantArt. So if you see anything on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, did I miss that one? Facebook.
But you're actually physically at DeviantArt headquarters right now because
you guys moved. Physically at DeviantArt as well. Because we just got done with a shoot for something I can't talk about yet that you'll probably see in the future. That was very exciting. We got to work with a bunch of amazing artists today, and it ended up with me just being stuck at work. So I'm streaming from here.
You already answered the question that I wanted to ask because DeviantArt is already a kind of a social media platform. Kind of, and being a head of social media of a social media platform, I was wondering what does that mean? It's like, okay, never mind. You explain that.
Well, I mean, it's actually really interesting because being a social media site, it's like, how does Facebook interact on Twitter? How does Twitter interact on Facebook? And being a site where you're constantly like, yeah, this is something really cool, but go back to our site and let's talk about it is always a bit of a challenge. But it's really cool because we get to just offer a lot of UGC, user-generated content to people that follow us. So I get to work in curation a lot and getting to expose a lot of new artists to people.
And how long has DeviantArt been around, actually?
So DeviantArt, I want to say, is the oldest still operating social media site in the world. We are going to hit our 20th anniversary in August 7th. We'll hit 20 years old, which means we're older than Facebook, we're older than Twitter, and it's pretty crazy.
You might be older. It might be older than most user on social media, like in general,
It really is. Like there's so many users who are of an age that is younger than the site. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
We had Eric Proctor who goes under the name Sao Shin recently, and we had him on the podcast, and his DeviantArt page is 16 years old. And so we brought in a 16-year-old to be his page, and it was really fun.
I actually want to join the DeviantArt podcast someday. So
man, you gotta come in.
Yeah,
I mean, we've had you to the new office, right? You've come into the new one.
I had you guys had lunch had pho lunch that day. It was great.
Oh my gosh, pho!
It was amazing. Yeah.
So for those of you watching, one of the best things about DeviantArt, one, is the community, but number two is we get lunch every day in the office, and we get some amazing lunches.
They were amazing.
Yeah, we had pho when you came in, and that was great.
That was great. How long have you been in DeviantArt?
So I've been on DeviantArt for about 11 years, but I've been working at DeviantArt for just over 2 years now. So about 3 years back, the website company Wix acquired DeviantArt, and I was brought in post-acquisition as someone to help with elevating DeviantArt and making sure that we've got the right resources to really do what we need to do for the artistic community. And so it's been really exciting. It's been a great 2 years. I've been able to be a part of a lot of amazing projects, and it's been great. I mean, you got to go with us to Comic-Con last year.
I did. That was great.
Yeah, you were on that panel.
Yeah, that panel. I need to figure out where I put it. I'm sure it's saved somewhere.
Yeah, you've got your placard, right?
I got my placard. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, I've made it. I got my nerd cred. I'm like, yep.
Right?
Like that's not. So here's the thing. I don't care about a lot of things, especially in the nerd space. Like, I care, but I want to play that I don't care.
Right.
But this is one thing I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Like I can hey guys, I made it. I have made it. It's on my bucket list,
Like, yeah, that's like a nerd bucket list thing. Also,
yeah.
I saw that off in my office.
So
you're way too late.
If you get haunted, don't worry. We'll catch you on stream.
Yeah, someone will walk by later and it will be a ghost.
Yeah.
That placard is like such a nerd street cred thing of I was on a panel at SDCC.
Right? Oh man. Like I make sure I got a bunch of photos of it too. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm thinking about framing it somewhere and
Yeah, I've got mine in a little folder. You can't really bronze it, I guess. It would just look like a bronze rectangle that no one would be able to see what was printed on it.
What was it? Who was the other one? Stanley?
Oh my gosh, you were on a panel with Art Germ, who is art royalty. Like Art Germ is, if you haven't ever seen him, go to deviantart.com/artgerm. If you've ever seen a DC comic cover, any other comic cover where you're like, that's gorgeous, that is a beautiful piece, it's Stanley's work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you were on a panel with amazing people.
Oh, they were all
Luke
great.
And Mo Choice from Velvet Spectrum up in Portland. Our CCO at DeviantArt, Justin Maller. You were up there with some good people.
It was great. They're all great people. But the funny thing for me was that I was like, oh yeah, I got the placard, really excited about it. But then for Stanley, I'm sure he have done so many panel that some guy came up to him, asked him, oh, can I have that? And he's like, yeah, sure. Oh, can you sign it? He's like, yeah, sure. He just signed it and just throw it away. It's like, yeah, take it, kids, run, cool. I'm gonna run too.
So growing up, wanting to do art, I definitely always idolized Stanley's work, and getting to meet him at Comic-Con. That was the first time I had ever met him, even having worked at DeviantArt for a while at that point. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then at Lightbox, which is Bobby Chu's art and illustration convention, Stanley was there as well. And he came up and he was like, oh, hi. And he remembered me, and I was just floored. That was one of the best moments of my life.
Yeah, now every time I see him at a convention, I always say hi to him too, because he speaks Cantonese. So do I. So we get to be yeah, we have a little bit of bond there. So, we can understand each other. So that's great. I do want him on someday too. So I'll talk to him about it or something.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you got to get him on. He's amazing.
Oh, yeah. But I'm sure he's a busy man. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, he was great. But yeah, no, one thing I do very appreciate of you is that I did walk around with you at Comic-Con for a little bit.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I like your appreciation of art. I'm not sure how much creation you do anymore on the art side. I'm sure you still do, but but it's what I saw about how you like and appreciate other people's art. That is what's very exciting for me.
Yeah, I think that I've always just really found art to be magical, which is kind of crazy. And I love getting to just dig into it and really be excited about it. I get excited about things like print quality and colors and line weight and composition. I think my favorite thing though is just seeing a story told in a single image. I think there's such a skill to that it really makes me excited when I see someone who can do it really well.
Did you always have an appreciation for art, or how did that come about?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, my parents always tell stories about me drawing on all the kitchen cabinets with chalk and marker and just being really into art. And I definitely read my share of comic books as a kid and graphic novels, and spent my time on DeviantArt as it was growing and launching. And it's just always been something really cool, like for escapism. I grew up on a really small town. I grew up in a town of like 500 people in eastern Washington state. And so for me, there's always such this fantastical world that can be explored in art. And so to see people be able to convey that is always something I've really appreciated and I really get into. It's something very exciting. And so Artist Alley for me is like the equivalent of like a Toys R Us when you're a kid. You know, I'm just like walking around being very, very excited and being so like starstruck by people.
You know, so
who I am or what I'm doing.
Your question earlier finally made sense to me. Like while we were prepping for the show, you were asking me a question like, "Oh, how's the lights and how different?" I was like, "How do you not know?" It's like I didn't realize my camera wasn't turned on for you until now. So like,
I hadn't seen you.
I didn't know. Like, I was like, "Oh shoot, I messed up that part." But like, now you can see me too. So
I can see you, and I'm like, "Oh, there's Martin." Thank God.
There it is. Like
we're here together.
Because you were like, "Are you wearing headphones?" Like, yes. Can't you tell?
No.
I was confused. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Martin, you can't do this to me. We've known each other for years.
I know.
Sort of jokes don't fly anymore.
That's the thing because you were already so comfortable. I'm like, oh yeah, he already, you know, everything seems all right, and he's just go straight into it and start talking about stuff already.
No, it's just blind faith in you and what you do.
We do know each other for a while. How did we meet each other?
Okay, so we met each other working for an awesome company called Ultimate Media Ventures. Ran a program called Battle on the Strip in Las Vegas. And the very first activation of that, which I believe was Dota 2, the premise was every month. You have a very good reaction to that because I remember it equally.
That was a very long night.
Dota 2 is a long game, and it was a very long day, but very well intended and went very well. But Battle on the Strip was a program where every month the SLS in Vegas was hosting an esports tournament through Ult, which was awesome. And the first one was Dota 2, but we had an amazing cosplay contest. I think the prize for first place was like 10 grand or something spectacular.
It was crazy, yeah. Yeah,
it was great because the guys at Ult really appreciate like craftsmanship. They appreciate artists. They appreciate people with fandoms, which is awesome. That's exactly the level that you should be. You should be really appreciating those things because so much time and work goes into that. And they brought you in as a guest judge. They brought in Bindi Smalls. Was there a third? I know you two were there.
There is one more at least. I remember.
I feel like there was a third judge, and I'm really sorry for forgetting who that third judge was. But I remember you two because I talked with Bindi and her husband for a really long time about like their workshop in Colorado because I was so floored by what they do. Bindi does amazing 3D printed cosplay stuff. Just a master of 3D stuff. She's incredible. But yeah, we did that at the halftime of Dota 2 tournament was this cosplay contest. It was really cool.
It was amazing.
That's when we first met.
I am still amazed by that. The guy who won, Reno.
Oh my gosh! Costume.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He had one of the best cosplays I've ever seen in my life, as far as functionality and like engineering behind it. Because you can go into it better than I can.
I keep trying to hire him for other events as well, but company keeps never taking my offer. But I'm like, guys, you don't understand how amazing this is. Like not saying, you know, I'm just very jaded, so it's like it's really hard for me to be, you know, very impressed by a cosplay. I mean, I'm always impressed, but not us. But this one definitely like just stopped me. I'm like, yep, and I feel bad because the other contestants were really great too. Like they were amazing. But
that whole turnout was really good.
They all have amazing stuff, but then that guy he floored everybody. He is. We saw him, and me and Bindi goes like, "Hey, I think he just won already. Like we don't even have to."
It was surreal because for those watching, he had like a full Raynor from StarCraft cosplay, like full Space Marine armor, and it had multiple functionalities of like the helm could sit down in like 3 different ways, all through like a programmed piece.
There's 2 masks actually, not just one. There's 2 of them.
There's the outer visor, which is transparent, and then the inner visor with like the skull logo on the front of it, the Raider logo. And it was gorgeous. But the craziest part was he could put on the full suit in under 40 minutes. Like it was
and he can
really
walk in it.
he could walk. It was fully articulated through like the ribs and waist. It like crunched in beautiful ways where it looked exactly how you would expect a space armor to look.
Oh man!
And
one of the most surprising thing for me for that costume is so lightweight.
Oh my god! Yeah, it was all like foam. It was something spectacular.
It doesn't look like foam though.
No, you took photos of it, and it looked like a. You took photos, and your photos looked like a CG render.
Every time I show people the photos, they're like, "Is this like from the game?" Or like, I mean, it's a character from the game, but that's a cosplay. Like, that's a real human being.
I was there, and I also saw your photos, and at first, I didn't think the two were the same.
Yeah.
Everything from both what they did as a construction company to build that and what you did to photograph it spectacularly as you do was insane. Both of them came together in this thing that looked like fully rendered with like the perfect particles of dust and light, and it was just like
I think
surreal.
He spent over a year working on that costume. From what he told me.
I wouldn't doubt it. Just the stuff for that midsection alone, how it could bend and warp was surreal.
And he's not even a full-time cosplayer. He's like an engineer, and he just does this for fun. Like he does. Yeah, he's not like someone who go to convention like us, like every month or something like that. He's just like making this, so he just made it.
It makes sense. I mean, the passion shows and the love for the product shows.
Yeah, man, he really wanted to go to BlizzCon. He was never able to get tickets. And I'm like, I want to hire you just so you can go to BlizzCon.
If he needs tickets to BlizzCon, like reach out to one of us and
we might try to get that fixed. Happen. We might, I might able to make more sense. Like we can just make it an active. We'll talk.
Martin, you put him in touch with me. We'll get him to BlizzCon. We'll do the proper handshakes.
We'll do the handshake. Yeah. Oh, it's just amazing. But yeah, so that's how we've met.
That's how we met. Yeah, that was our first time meeting. You had fantastic burgundy pants, and it was a delightful time.
Yesterday I was showing GB for you. For those of you who haven't seen or you're listening this as a podcast, I had GB, the ASMR YouTuber, on last night, and she never met me at convention. So it's very different, And everyone that meets Modern Wong at a conventions, I would say it's an experience. It's kind of like a Disney ride. Definitely a character,
Yes. So as much as you said you loved being with me at conventions, I love being with you at conventions because we spoke about this a little bit. The people that you know and love look different at every convention.
Yeah.
And you have to meet them every single time because they look 100% different every time.
So it's their job and they do so good at it, It should be a compliment. And that's why it's
the less you recognize them, the better they're doing.
Yeah, And unlike most people, I go to more conventions than almost 90% of the people that I see at events. Like before this whole, coronavirus situation, my expectation this year was going to a convention on average once every other week.
That's great.
And I did the math. If I meet 20 new people per day, very easy. That's just actually a very easy goal. I always far exceed it. It's not a goal, but like situation. And if it's a 3-day convention, not even 4 days, that's 3 days conventions. That is 60 people. One event every other week. For 1 year, it's over 1,560 people. And I've been going to conventions for over 10 years. So it's really hard for me to like meet them because like they'll come to me and I feel really bad and they look completely different. They're like, "Hey, Martin." I'm like, I don't know you have met. Hey, you.
Hey, friend.
And then on top of that, they also have cosplay name. So
working online, whether it be social media, video games, cosplay, whatever, people have handles, and that can be a completely different thing that you have to learn them from. It's just like, oh, this is Derek, but you might know him as XX Sephiroth 69XX. It's like, oh yeah, I do know that person.
That's why I love the gaming space because you have all this professional gamer. First of all, I have a complaint, and I was talking to other people about this too. All the professional player, they always do that photos where they look like they're trying to look badass. Yeah, you know it. Yep, but they don't. A lot of them are just they're very strongly because they always stay indoors. They don't do a lot of sports. Athletic sports. At the gym. Yeah. I know some of them do, but a lot of them don't, because they're training, they're playing the game, they have to.
Yeah.
But they don't look badass. But then they keep doing that pose, and it's just like, man, you're not intimidating. And then sometimes they will have name like XX Pussy Destroyer 69. I'm like, like you're killing me here, man. Like,
Yeah.
like, you do not try. Yeah, that's not what your name and your face kind of. It doesn't align.
See, like I don't know if you know this about me. I was one step beneath getting paid to play Counter-Strike, like in 2003, 2004, like back
You
in
have mentioned
the
that.
Cal days. And
Mhm.
so, like, one thing that I can say is at least my team didn't have any of those names. We had like the lamest names or the most like blasé names. We had like our clan name was SCM for South Central McCarty because we lived in the South Tower, the center floor of McCarty Hall at the University of Washington. We were all dorm mates. It was a Counter-Strike clan completely made of people trying to get a cheap deal on pizza for the 555 deal at Domino's. And like, what's amazing is these guys back in the day are the same people that were like groomsmen at my wedding. Like there was a bond that lasted forever. But our names were like Gur, and
Very
like,
simple,
but like Invader Zim's Gur, not like and like Ghost and like Snake, and like none of them were like too cringe, which was great.
Cringe. That's great. So at least it's not too badass, but not too cringe. I would rather to be not too badass than too cringe.
Yeah, what I like now is you see people actually using their real names. Like in Overwatch League, which is one of the ones that like I follow pretty hard. You had like Jake, right, and like Adam, and people who just use their name. And then you had my personal favorite, Cool Matt 69, who just like was like, I'm gonna use my name, but I'm also gonna lean in a bit.
Have you ever watched the cosplay contest at BlizzCon?
I've never watched it in person. I've watched on the digital ticket.
Okay. So this is one. So I'm not sure you know this, but it's hilarious to me because you will have all this cosplay that come up. Let's say, oh yeah, next we have I don't know, level 5 warlock cosplay by, and then have some badass cosplay name, right? Like I don't know, like Keymaster cosplay, whatever it's called, whatever name.
It's a badass name. You locked it in.
Whatever. And then you have some guy that will come and say, level 2 druid cosplay by Paul. And that's it. And like, that's like, and the guy's voice, like those movie trailer voice. So they're like very deep, dark, and just, badass.
In a world
exactly
filled with magic. One Paul can ruin it all.
Yeah, there was like amazing, like Rainer cosplay by Jake. Oh, cool, Jake.
But I mean, I've taken that in similar light to like I play like a lot of D&D games or tabletop role playing, and I bring in characters for one shots. They're like, oh, who's your character? It's like, oh, Deathblow Von Berenson. It's like, okay, Matt, what's your character? It's like Gary. Like, your character's name is Gary. I'm like, yes. He works very hard.
That name brings fear across all land. I mean, technically, I feel like in that world, that would be scary, right? Because like in our common world, like, oh, Gary, Kevin, Sam is like common name, and you bring up, something from Azeroth. Like, oh, that's not badass. But in the land of Azeroth, like you have crazy names, then you're like, John. Shoot, John.
Raw, Sylvanas, John.
Yeah. Oh, have you heard about John? It's like, oh God, no, please.
I hear he took the Iceborne crown and cracked it in half.
Exactly. Like that should make actually a lot of sense. That's how you're gonna explain it next time.
That's exactly it.
But no, you're right. Gaming and arts. Do you see the similarity how gaming and arts can bring people together? Like the same way that you guys were just in it for the pizza, but next thing you know, they're friends for life. Yeah,
it's true.
I have that too because I went to some of my friends' wedding and they are cosplayers.
Yeah, and the cosplay community is really close. Like it's amazing. All the people who are in it.
It's a big community, but it's a very tight community. I always say that. So don't do anything dumb because we all know each other. But yeah, like there's some of them that I think for the past 4 or 5 weddings, they were all cosplay friends that I've been. And some of them I was a groomsman. Some of them, of course, I was attendee. And one of them, I was even a bridesman. That was amazing.
That's great. Have you ever officiated a wedding?
I have not yet. I feel like I should because I actually used to shoot a lot of weddings. So I feel like I should just get myself have that position or whatever that thing. Like you have to
Go for
register
the
to
bingo.
yeah, so then they could be like, oh, in case something do happen, like I imagine like a situation where like, oh no, he stuck in traffic. Then I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just do it, you know.
Thank you, Universal Life Church.
Yeah,
I can do this.
With the power reset in me, and like, what power is like, cool, fire,
by the
water.
power vested in me by this online pastordom.
Pastordom.com.
No, Universal Life Church, it is easy. You can get a little diploma you print out. I guess it's a certificate. But
they did that in The Simpsons, and then like Homer just printed out the little like instead of like wearing the jacket, he just printed like a black strip with like a white dot in the middle, and he's put on. It's like, oh
yeah.
No.
Hashtag Simpsons did it first.
Simpsons already did all of it. You know, they have done. Everyone's like, oh my god, they particularly no, they have done so many things. They're just like that got a hit. You know.
Oh yeah, they do great.
It's like, yeah, it's me. It's a good one. It's a good one. But anyway, so we actually never even dive into DeviantArt. At first, I was so worried that like, oh, we're gonna just only talk about DeviantArt. But I do have a question about DeviantArt.
Yeah, fire away, man.
Tell me more about it because, no offense, I feel like DeviantArt is not the #1 social media platform anymore. You know,
it's weird that other social media platforms exist. You're right,
but they're different type. But they're very different. They're very different for sure.
No, so DeviantArt definitely went through some ups and downs, but like it's always been the #1 platform for artists, which is really cool. We're right around 50 million registered users, which is super exciting, really cool. But the thing that I really like about DeviantArt, and one of the reasons why, I worked really with like a lot of esports, a lot of gaming stuff, a lot of community-driven stuff in the past. And when I was approached to, I was reached out to work for DeviantArt, I looked into it a lot. And the thing that I love about it, and the reason why I took the job, was they really like care about artists, and that's something that is not always common. And DeviantArt, the people that I talked to and interviewed with and spoke to at all the levels, and I mean, you know this as well, you've been into many closed-door NDA meetings with higher-ups and C-suite, but like they actively care about the artists, and that's really rare. That's really cool. Like the thing that we did at Comic-Con, for those of you watching, you might not know about this, there's a program at Comic-Con that's been running for many years called the CCC. It's the Comic Creator Connection. And it's basically like speed dating for artists and writers to help them collaborate to form, hopefully, a project together. Like you might have an idea for a story, and I might have really good art skills, and we can make a comic book together or a graphic novel or whatever. And so we worked with Comic-Con this past year to bring some amazing artists to the Comic Creator Connection. They had been short on artists in past years, and we thought, like, what better way to really give back to some artists who have been on our site for a while, and some really talented artists, and bring them to some, up and coming writers that could use that partnership. So DeviantArt flew 10 artists from around the country to Comic-Con, gave them badges, gave them hotels, paid for their meals, and made sure that they had a good time at Comic-Con and really got to experience it.
I'm sure they did. I was talking with them, and
you were there with us the whole time.
I was. Yeah,
like you got to see it firsthand. It was really cool. Like I really felt like we learned a lot from them as a company. Even like they got to meet with our C-suite and just talk about what they could use as artists, and we honestly took a lot of that into consideration as we build out like the new beta for the site. But yeah, continue with what you were saying when you were there. What was your experience?
Oh no, I had a great time because I usually do a lot of cosplay photography, right? And I don't actually get to talk to a lot of artists the way that I get to talk to at the Comic-Con with them, because at most I will, talk to them maybe at a conventions. They might be at Artist Alley and behind like a booth. And there's still some separation between us, because they're working. Totally get it, But that experience, I really get to talk to some of them and see what is their role like, and because there's a lot of crossover, their clients could be similar to my type of clients, or we have to deal with the same type of frustration or excitement or that same doubt. And here's the one thing that I found very common in all of us is that we all have confidence issue. Like,
oh my gosh, don't get me started on imposter syndrome and confidence
yes,
issues, Martin. No.
and it's just intense because a lot of them make such amazing, amazing art, and it blows my mind. They're like, yeah, I don't think my stuff is good enough, and it's like, first of all, and I'm sure there's a lot of artists that's not even with us that weekend, but even just the artists that were there that weekend, it's like,
all artists, including yourself. I want to shake you so bad, so often.
my stuff is kind of boring and easy compared to them.
Which is what you say all the time, and it's totally not true.
It's like, I just saw Nips the other day again, and like, I'm just always amazed by her stuff. But no, she was saying the same thing. Like, again, we were talking, you know, friends to friend, and she still has the same issue where she feel like she's not good enough for some of the stuff. Like, what are you talking about?
Loud, audible sigh for all artists who don't believe that they're doing magic. Like, it is so crazy to me because, again, my appreciation from art comes from like this sense of like art is magic to me. And yourself included, the stuff you do with photography, like I can't count the amount of times where I've pulled up your Instagram, your DeviantArt, your Twitter to show off what you can do, because you have this ability to like make anything into something great. It's this incredible talent you have, and not to like float your boat on your own stream, but like you did that series at Comic-Con where you did like, here's someone posing, and then you pulled back to show how you actually shot it, and it was like, this is a person with a stanchion, and like it looked like it was a professional thing because you shot it, but like it looked like something staged in a studio, right?
That was actually very fun. I do,
but it was so cool.
But that was so easy. Anyone can. That's the point. I'm trying to show off that anyone can do this anywhere.
The problem is not everyone can do that. And not everyone can do that easy. That's like the Wizard of Oz, right? Like you pull back the curtain, it's this guy, and it's like, it's just this guy. But like that guy was still doing like magic. So yeah, everyone who does magic is just like a person, but they're also still doing this really incredible thing. So like,
thank you.
You pulling back that curtain was more being like this humble flex of like, I only had an elevator or an escalator wall with plexiglass, and look at this shot I made.
That's why I was doing this on purpose. It was really fun. I did a video and also a shoot at IKEA.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite shoots, and to explain to people like, you know, what I can do, but also how easy others can kind of do it too. It's just like, just go to IKEA. It's all the set story there, and it's just like people's home, and you can do it at your own home as well. So I mean, here's the thing. Like I'm at that point that I have learned at least something about photography, hopefully, and that's why I want to start doing YouTube and like this kind of podcast. It's just to teach people entertainment. You know, that's a new thing. I feel like that's very trendy, and I love it. It's entertainment and education together, and you're able to teach people about, you know, what you have learned. Like I wish there was someone there for me back then to teach me what I've known now, but that means I'm still learning.
It's crazy because some of it only comes from that experience, because like I think if you showed you 10 years in the past the stuff that you're doing now, you would have that same sense that I do of like, what is this magic? Like I think that like, you know, there are those things that you learn through experience, and you are able to kind of just absorb and understand, like, here's the practical knowledge of it, where it's like putting, in a way, science to faith, right? Like, oh man, like we recovered from this thing, or we solved this disease, but it's not necessarily because of these beliefs we have, it's because of the work that we put into it and like the knowledge behind it. So having that knowledge behind like a craft takes away a little bit of that magic, because you've seen what went into it. So you don't see it as this magic. You're still performing the miracle in a way.
I have been shooting for over 15 years, so I guess.
Yeah. Oh, wow. But same to be said with Nips, who check her out at ONIPS on social media, OHNIPS. She's great and dynamic characters with this. Like, she breaks every rule of perspective and depth, and it's perfect and so cool. But like, you know, anyone who does those sort of things where they're making this creative thing that's just incredible, they see it as something where they're just doing what they do because put in
So
that
why
work.
do we have that imposter syndrome? It's like, is there causation? Is there correlation? What is that like to? What do you think?
I mean, I've dealt with a lot of people who I'm blown away by, and I just feel do these magical things of. I see people even in the chat right now whose work like I'm very floored by. I think that they're incredible, and I think that part of that comes from just like it's hard to understand what you do and how it affects other people. Like there are a ton of people who I talk to who I'm like, oh, like your stuff is incredible and just like insane, and you do this and this and this, and they're like, yeah, but like it is what it is, and I can't believe that I constantly hear I didn't think that anyone else would really like it, or oh, it's weird to know that my stuff is out in the wild. Like we worked with Dave Raposa, who's like one of my bucket list artists to meet. He's worked on everything from like the Logan movie poster to realistic Pokemon to an original character they published 2 books about called Steve Lichman. It's absolutely hilarious. And we got to work with them for DeviantArt recently for our original character challenge. And I had his books. I kickstarted both books, and both of them are at my desk because I look at them all the time. They're just beautiful art and really funny and something I can relax into. And he was like, it's so weird seeing these in the wild. And it's like, of course they're in the wild. They're like masterpieces. They're gorgeous and they're like so good. But
And it's always surprising when they do like they're like, oh my god, DeviantArt's like my stuff. It's like, yeah, like we love your art.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
They are as surprised as you are, which is always like, what? Why are you both? What?
So can I share one of like my guilty pleasures and like favorite things that I loved about my job? So one of my favorite things is we have a giant kitchen space. It's massive, beautiful, but it has a drop-down projector. And what I love doing is I love going on Twitch as DeviantArt, the channel. And so someone, just to lay a little groundwork, someone in the past has had the DeviantArt username for years. They had 2 followers, and it took us a long time to go through trademark and say like, it is us, DeviantArt, like let us get that back. And Twitch was like, okay, finally you can have it back. So we just got back twitch.tv/DeviantArt. So now I log into DeviantArt and I go into the art streams and I look at artists and I watch artists creating art, and I hop on as DeviantArt and I say like, wow, I really love this aspect of what you're doing. Your composition is glorious. The way that you paint this is really cool, but it's coming from DeviantArt. And someone always, it almost always goes like this. They're like drawing. DeviantArt, that's a fun one. How'd you get that username? And they're drawing away. And then I type, trademark. It took us a minute, but we got it now. And they are drawing and they look and they go, what? And during that time, I go on their Twitter and I at them from our official DeviantArt Twitter account, which is like 2.2 million people. And I do like /wave, like a little GIF of like someone waving. And they're like, haha, funny. Yeah. And they're starting to get nervous because, they're drawing whatever character and they're like, oh my God, what? and I type like, check out your Twitter account. And they, you can see them go like, okay.
This can be real, yeah.
Oh my God, it's DeviantArt. like DeviantArt has had like a big impact on a lot of people, which is really cool to be able to be that person. And I get excited about being able to be that person with like my joy for art that I have, because like I get to share in that moment with that person because I'm having that same moment of like joy that they have, or hopefully joy that they have, that DeviantArt is on their channel with like me, Matt, getting to talk directly with that artist at that moment. And so like it's equally special for me, but it's one of my favorite things to do because regardless of who it is, it helps me make that connection with the person.
And they feel appreciated.
They feel appreciated, which they should. But like I get to do that from a level that like if they just knew me as Matt, like it might not have the same impact to them. So I get to show how much I care about them and what they do through like something of scale to how I feel. And so that's pretty special.
DeviantArt is such an OG, and I think it definitely means a lot to many artists, around the world. And I do you think how arts are being created is different in the last 20 years, especially.
Oh, totally. I mean, if you look at like how art's being created, a big change right now is just how it's portable now. I mean, if you were looking at like art even 10 years ago, like look at a tablet that you got 10 years ago, you still had Cintiqs and Intuises, but for the most part, it was really a lot more rudimentary. Like even what you were working on just didn't have the power. And the way that technology has increased has allowed people to grow and grow and grow with how they share their art and even how they create and where they create. Like some of my favorite things are like just going to a bar with a friend and they've got like an iPad Pro and a Apple Pencil and Procreate, and they just bust something out while I'm there. And I've got my sketchbook and my microns, you know. But they can then take their thing that they made digitally and just upload it right away. And that goes to Instagram, that goes to Twitter, that goes to DeviantArt, that goes to, you know, sometimes
even
they're
like
streaming
work in
live
progress. They already like, it's amazing, you know.
Oh, the thing that Procreate does with like work in progress and just the capture, you know, the time lapse, it's gorgeous. Like that's such a cool feature and it's so beneficial to artists.
Yeah.
And you see like artists really succeeding on even TikTok now. Like TikTok is doing great for artists.
As you said, it's symmetrical. It's symmetrical to me. I'm like, it's weird because my dad is an artist and it's annoying.
I saw your dad's stuff that you posted and he's really good.
It's just annoying because like I stopped drawing because of him. That's ironic. But I'm like, I got photography. So like, hopefully, I mean, he's still pretty good at photography, but I'm like, I think I have an edge right now. Oh man, I got you finally.
Are you just dunking on him? You're like, your art is good, but this, poof. And
it's like I bought all the audience. Like, yes, guys, cheer for me. Hey, that sign. Hold up that sign. Did you remember that sign? I paid you for that, right? Okay. So
they've got giant cutouts of your head
on my face. Yeah, exactly. No, like yeah, so he does a lot of drawing, and I want to maybe get him an iPad someday, or a better Wacom or something, so to let him draw. That's what he's passionate about. Finally, can do it for more fun than just work. But do you think? And I ask this question for a lot of artists that come on my podcast as well. Is it hard? I mean, I feel like it's different. Okay, first of all, because DeviantArt and art in general is a much bigger space. And history has always been art. And I feel like I'm sure every generation, someone would say, yeah, it's saturated now. It's hard to do it now. But that can't be the case because like you got even the Renaissance. I'm sure back in the Renaissance time, someone's like, nope, we got Michelangelo. We're done. Don't worry. We shouldn't get into doing art.
So one of the problems one of the things I see, it's not necessarily a problem, but it's a misconception with social media is, if you look at Instagram, right, like especially as a photographer and someone who will work in like meticulously to make sure that every product that you put out looks beautiful, you typically only publish finished works. And even like Instagram influencers, they will put out these photos of I'm on vacation and here's my perfect time in Bali and here's this and here are these gorgeous shots, and it kind of construes a reality that doesn't exist. And I think for art, it can be extra detrimental where people assume that finished product, like they don't know how long went into that and they don't know the work that went into that. And seeing that finished product, they might feel like that's where they need to be to even post to whatever platform, whether it be DeviantArt or
and those are the only one that we see, that's a problem.
Exactly. And so they feel like anything less than X level that they're seeing on their social media is acceptable. And they don't realize that it's okay to have something where they're still working on it, or to even say like, here's my work in progress. Like I'd love critiques. And it's so difficult because like that art is always growing and that art is always changing. And it's impossible to put out the same quality of art or the same, version of art that you see anywhere. Yeah. Style is a really specific one because like, one of my favorite artists is Scott Campbell, and he does like this beautiful, like this really fun watercolor. It's very whimsical stuff. He does the Great Showdowns series.
Of course.
But like if you compared that to like Stanley Art Germ, they're two very different things.
Oh, very different.
And you might not think that one compares to the other, but both are really good for different reasons. And so with the way that people perceive on social media, they might not understand that those are both really great things and why each should be celebrated. And that can be really tough.
And also, one thing I feel like is that, for example, for my photography, and this I can speak from my own personal experience, they also don't know how much time I put in my photos. For example, for my portraits. And that's one problem I have with a lot of social media platform, not DeviantArt, because DeviantArt can do a great job at this, is to show off actually some of the effort I put in my photos. I spend about 2 to 3 hours per portrait photos. So
I believe it. Yeah.
I try to shorten it, but every time I learn, it's funny because I will try to learn a new trick and or new technique. Like, oh, I can make this look better. I thought that was supposed to shorten my time. Instead, actually make me want to spend more time on it to make it even better. But I also explain to people, yes, this photo took 2 hours, but it's actually 2 hours plus 20 years. I've been retouching for over 20 years. So you're not just seeing a 2 hours photo, you're seeing 20 plus year that goes into that as well. So don't get discouraged if you just started and you don't feel like you can get to there.
You need that experience of knowing how to make those changes, knowing where to make the shortcuts, knowing what shortcuts to apply, knowing what to do where. It's all super important.
And I'm still learning. And that's the great thing is that once you have this weird curve where at first you feel like you're nobody, then you don't know what you're doing, then you got to some point, oh yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing. But then later you realize I have no idea what's at all. It's like science, it's like kids too. Like you learn something, oh, I know a lot about the world, and then you become a scientist, and you're like, there's a lot I do not know about this world.
The thing I always hear, and the CCO at DeviantArt, Justin Maller, and I talk about this, is your skill versus your taste, and the never-ending pursuit of one to the other. Of you start looking at art, right? Whether it be photography, whatever, and you say, I like that. And that sets your taste level. But your skill might be here. I'm trying to make sure I'm on the screen. And so as you work towards that aspect, you are constantly ingesting new stuff. So that taste keeps going up. And then you plateau for a bit and you go, I like where I'm at, but oh man, I should be up here and I should be better. And so you work towards that, but that's constantly building and rising. And I don't think you can ever really catch your skill to where.
And that is the artist mindset, I think, because for us as artists, and I think you always have that, once you catch up, you have a small bliss moment. That's for maybe very tiny bits, right? You're like, oh, my stuff is good. I like it now. But within a 1 or 2 weeks, no, this is shit. This is not good enough.
And I think that's where part of that imposter syndrome comes in. Honestly, I think the only time you ever fail as an artist is when you're not working towards something. Because if you're always trying to learn and you're always trying to improve, or you're always focusing on some way of growth, whether that be I want to understand color theory better, or I want to make my art look more like this, or I want to take on this project, you're always improving, you're always learning, you're always putting in the work. It's only when you stop the work that you fail.
Yeah, and I was talking to someone earlier who is a streamer, and she was saying
ambiguous.
And then she was saying that's man, I wish I could be finally be comfortable, feel like I've made it, because we're talking about someone else, and she was very happy and very comfortable how she is. But I'm like, this is not about actually where you are. Even if you catch up to her, that level, whatever you think you're at, you're still not gonna be happy and satisfied, because how we are as a person, where we feel because I'm pretty sure, and I explained to her, and she can see it now. It's 5 years ago, before you started streaming, I bet you were like, you know what? If I can just make enough on streaming where I could just pay rent, I'll be happy. Maybe a little bit for food. Now you're making way more than enough for food and rent. But she's now thinking about what's it when I retire and all this stuff. But you have made such a big improvement, and just a new rise from where you were expecting. We just push that expectation higher and higher. So believe in yourself and know that you are constantly improving, so you don't you don't be too hard on yourself.
I think you're completely right. If someone can be objective enough to look at how they would have seen themselves now 5 years ago, that's a pretty cool way to really absorb where you're at.
Yeah, because I'm sure 5 years ago your goals are very different. and there's a high chance that you might have already succeed in some of those goals already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you also come from many path of life. Like you did many things because you
I did a
you
lot
didn't
of
just
things.
start out. It's just like, oh, I just became a head of social media at DeviantArt. Oh, there's someone there. But
No.
yeah, like what else have, like, of course, we met at when you were at Alt, so you have done many stuff too. Did do you have
Yeah.
something that's your favorite or something you enjoy more than the other?
I don't know. I think all of it really like leans into community work. Like I think all of it kind of worked towards putting me into the social media field, which is weird to say, but like looking back, it's very kind of a holistic way to see my career as a whole. Because in high school, I was like a lifeguard, right? Which I was teaching swim lessons. I was working in a small community to like build kind of a central point around the pool. And then in college, I was a resident advisor and
Same.
worked in a coffee shop, and I was building those communities.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved out to LA, and I was doing like all sorts of stuff. Like I did so many different things. I worked at a comedy place for a long time. I worked at the Groundlings Theater for almost a decade and really built like a community there. And I did a D&D podcast way back in the day. And it did really, really well, and built a community around tabletop role playing, and had a great time there. But everything I did really focused around making a community and a place for people to feel at home. And
And
so oh, go ahead.
So this is something I talk to a lot of gaming companies at
Yeah.
in the gaming world, because I interact with that industry a lot. A lot of companies, new companies that don't understand that, and they were like, "Oh yeah, why is my game doesn't have a following, like a huge follower base like Riot or Blizzard, those kind of gaming companies."
Mhm.
But they don't understand how much effort those giant companies have and how many years they have spent to, create
Yeah.
that kind of environment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. I mean, like some people do it really well. Like one that's doing it really well right now that shout out is like the team over at Apex. They do Apex Legends. They do great work with their community. And you look at like a battle royale game, and that's not much to build around, right? It resets every time. As soon as you're done with a round, it's reset.
There's no
Like
story.
and they do an amazing job supporting their creators and their fans, which is exactly what you need to do. And I know people on their team as far as community and social, and they work really hard to make sure that people are appreciated. And I think it takes that sort of dedication, that sort of like wanting to help people find, a third home or a third place that they want to be at. And if you get someone like that on your team, then you're doing it right.
Yeah. And yeah, many gaming companies are still having to learn that. And it's such valuable because, and even explain to the company itself, because they have to spend time and effort and resources. They don't, it doesn't happen overnight. It's kind of like building friendship. You don't just have someone as a friend and then suddenly they become your best friend. It takes some time.
Well, I mean, and even leaning heavier into that, it's not about just paying someone to be your friend.
Oh, definitely not. No,
Like
yeah.
a lot of companies will say like, hey, here's like, X amount of money, make a piece of art about this, or make a cosplay about this. And that doesn't build that sense of community. That's a great commission, and thank you for supporting an artistic community. But it doesn't build the loyalty or like the actual sense of, in a way, ownership that fans have to properties that they really want to care about and communities that they want to care about.
And that's how companies lose fans and lose fan base or communities, that they start disconnecting with it. They don't understand. And I think we kind of seeing that somewhat with Blizzard, in the recent years, is that they have lost touch a little bit with what the community is like and become more just maybe profit driven or stuff like that. And it's not just about money though.
It can be tough because I can't speak too much on how Blizzard works internally, but from the outside, it definitely appears like they're trying to be a lot safer and really trying to make the right steps. And in a lot of cases, especially with like the Overwatch community, I feel like it's taken a little too long, which is frustrating for the fan base.
Yeah.
You look at like Overwatch was supposed to have a graphic novel within like year one, maybe year two, and
Hmm.
that got canned. And like even today, Michael Chu, the head writer, resigned, and that
Hmm.
was like a major shock for me.
Hmm. Hmm.
um, they're trying to. They had like such a great start to Overwatch and the characters and
Oh,
everything.
they did. Like there's so many things that so Blizzard have done many things right, but they also have messed up a lot on different things. So, but I just hope they can see how they get to where they are and try to learn from that and grow. I mean, Riot
Yeah.
learned that really quickly,
I
community
mean,
wise.
did Riot learn it quickly, or did they take X amount of time as well? Like one of the challenges
Mm,
with like Riot did some amazing things for their artists this like for the art
mm-hmm,
community this year. They did some really great things. So I'm not trying to take away from that, but I'm saying like sometimes the learning curve is just necessary.
mm-hmm,
And I think that Blizzard might be in one of those learning periods right now. I don't think that they're being necessarily malicious towards anything or like trying to restrain things. I think that they're just really trying to do something right. And sometimes when you're so focused on doing something right, you end up not doing it. And
mm,
that can be a real challenge. But I know like a lot of people who work there and they're really trying to do like some awesome stuff. It just can be sometimes you're trying so hard to do something
could be
right that it
tough.
takes forever.
Yeah. Wow, that's a great message actually. Do you find it difficult or easier for you to do at DeviantArt to build that community?
The What's crazy is so like I came from like an esports community. I was working with Vision Entertainment, which worked with like Echo Fox and a lot of really cool
Mm-hmm,
Facebook gaming sort of stuff and shows.
mm-hmm.
And so I came from a community where on social media I was told to kill myself at least 5 times a day, numerous slang and
Very
derogatory
toxic.
terms thrown at me. Yeah, it was a blast. I worked with great people, but the community could have been a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
embracing.
Welcoming.
Yeah. And so to come to Deviant, people were literally like, the worst thing I get was like, oh, your art isn't my favorite. It's like, oh, okay.
That doesn't even feel like an
uh,
insult. That is like, oh,
yeah.
fair, fair. Sounds like fair.
I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, I really like the community we have at DeviantArt, and one of the things that I really appreciate is coming at it from someone who's been on the platform for over a decade. I realize that even when there are, quote unquote complaints, that's actually
Mm,
people who are just very passionate and they want it to
mm-hmm,
work really well. And everyone comes at it from a perspective of what they know. So some people might say,
mm,
we need this, and they know what they need for maybe a digital artist, but it
mm-hmm,
doesn't necessarily benefit a writer because we have a
mm-hmm,
really strong literature community. And
mm-hmm,
so being able to be a part of that community where I can talk with them and like maybe connect them with some literature people and say like, great, like how about you two talk and let's see what we can do best for both of you is a really cool place to be in. And
mm-hmm,
so myself, I find that I end up being that communicator or that like bridge between our teams that are developing new products and trying to make the new version of DeviantArt as excellent as possible for artists and really help artists with artists themselves. And so we're really trying. I mean, that was a whole thing with that Comic Con group was we made sure that they
mm-hmm,
met with the best teams.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
we're doing an artist in residency program right now, which
Ooh.
we've done 2 months of. It's been
Mm-hmm,
amazing. Our first month was RJ Palmer, who is known as Arvalus. He did the concept art for Detective Pikachu. He did a
mm,
whole realistic Pokemon series that's great. And he's big into paleo art. And we brought him in for a week. He created a piece and we took him to the Natural History Museum. We did some amazing things. But he also sat in on all of our meetings for that week. Like
mm,
full transparency. We did not pull any punches. And he got to see exactly what we're working on and what we do and what we really strive for. And
mm-hmm,
he was able to give us honest notes on how he felt as an artist and what he felt we could do better. And
mm-hmm.
we took those to our teams and we're making some changes. And then our second month was uh, Eric Proctor, who's in chat right now, Sachin, who is an
Hi, Eric.
amazing artist, does beautiful art. He did this amazing Aurora Borealis wolf piece for us that is just stunning. And same thing. He got to be here for a week in the office, talk with our COO, our CEO, our CCO, everyone, our customer service team, and just really get the information that maybe as a user of DeviantArt, you've always wanted to know those secrets. Why did this piece get removed but not this one? Why does the front page work like this? What's with the llamas? And,
I used to work in Silicon Valley, and I wish I can explain people the same thing too. And change takes time, like takes lots of time, and also there's other stuff that is hard to explain. And again, everyone has different need, and as you said, they're not malicious. They're just seeing the need from their perspective.
Exactly.
So it makes a lot of sense. Go ahead.
That's one of those things why I'm happy that I'm in the I am, because I understand that. I would assume that anyone that the team here at DeviantArt would have hired would know that, because like everyone that works here is so passionate towards it. But like I'm very happy that I'm in the position where I am, because I understand that any concerns come from that passion, that want to have a
frustration. It's not at the people, it's more like at what they want to happen. Yeah,
exactly.
Which is
like
great.
There are a few times when it's aimed at me, and it me more when someone at DeviantArt, you suck, because I'm like, I've worked really hard for you. More than it did when someone was, hey, Gears of War 57, you're the worst. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's still better than, again, the gaming space where it's like, go kill yourself. It's like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a hello there. So, for me, it's just one of those things where like everyone here really does care. We've got a great team.
That's great.
One of the things that like always surprises people, which at this point, and we have a podcast at DeviantArt, and I always try and push it in there as well, because like,
please let us know. I want you to talk about that, and also Eclipse, like the news thing.
Sure, yeah.
Because it goes trending on Twitter, and everyone's like, DA's coming back, it's happening. I'm like, yes, let's talk about that too.
Okay, yeah, we can go into that too. But one of the things that's crazy about DeviantArt is globally, again, 50 million registered users. Our team is under 100 people globally. And that includes everyone that's coding the site, everyone that is designing emails for the site, everyone that is responding to your posts on the site. Like that's less than 100 people globally. And so for a team that's that small, excuse me, sorry, I'm getting choked up because it means so much. And
all the other logistics stuff too. It's not just like the website itself, like there's many things that go on in the company.
We've got so many things coming in the future that like that's at least a third of the team is just working on future stuff. And trying to getting a team of that size to work with a community that size, like you've got to really care, and you've got to really want to make that difference to people. So like everyone that works at DeviantArt is insane in the best way to try and make things perfect for artists and to do things for artists. So
that's good. I'm glad about I always like people being passionate about things that they love, and it really shows. They shine, their eyes turn differently. Like I'm not sure to explain it, but do you know that look when you have someone talk about stuff they're passionate about? Their eyes just glow.
It's the equivalent of like an anime. Deku takes the all for one power.
Yep, just like that.
I've always wanted the anime glow of my glasses for them to like flash white.
Have you seen those glasses though?
Do they have those?
Yeah, they're very cheap too, but they like you can buy them on like wish.com. It's literally glasses.
I'm going on Wish. Are you sponsored by Wish, Martin? Because like I've been on a couple of your podcasts watching where you've talked about Wish.
I wish. But it's just that every once in a while I will get a notification like, okay, maybe I'll buy this thing. 2 months later, I'm like,
I'll get a contact prescription just to wear those glasses.
No, they have, well, the problem is that they block out. Actually, I'll send you a video later. Stella bought one online. It was literally just like a glasses, and then if you touch it, it light up.
That's all I want. Like I learned, I forget the name of the character. I think it's Ashita from Bleach. Did you ever watch Bleach?
Yeah, of course, yes.
Like he had the glasses and he always pushed them up like this.
Ching. Yep.
And so like I remember there was a point in my life where I worked really hard to like push my glasses up the exact same way. It meant a lot to me.
Yeah. So there are some glasses to do that. I took a few selfie and video, so I'll show you later. But it's really funny because it has LED in it, so literally it doesn't glow. But then you just do this and go ching.
Oh, I want that. I need that.
It can just be like a villain going, Yes. I've been expecting you. Yes. So,
Okay. Anyway, going
but
back
yes.
to all the things that you mentioned. Sorry, I'm gonna try and hit all those talking points. DeviantArt was trending on Twitter, yeah,
It
for a
was.
while. What's cool about DeviantArt, not to say just one thing because there are many, is there's no algorithm. So if you watch someone, your stuff gets seen. Versus like Facebook, you watch someone. If you're a page, you're lucky if 2% of your stuff is seen by or you're lucky if 2% of your followers see your stuff. So watch is a really cool function on DeviantArt where if you say, I want to watch this person, you will always see updates from them. It's an algorithmless part of the site. Are there parts of the site that will recommend stuff to you like an algorithm? Yes, but that's a completely different part. That's if you want to explore or browse or find other stuff. So if you only want to see what you want to see, there's a perfectly fine place for that on DeviantArt, which is great. Should you go into these other parts, like recommended for you? 100%, because there are amazing artists there that you need to see. And the team that we have working on like AI to find actual pieces that you will like, specifically you, is insane. They're great. They're incredible people, and they work really hard to find those.
I bet it's hard because there's so many types of art, and sometimes arts are hard to describe and categorize.
It's crazy. Like there are so many different things. Like
and they overlap too, so it's kind of like like even my photography, it goes into cosplay, manga, goes into different type of art, fabric, like all kinds of stuff. So yeah.
Well, not to get to like marketing, which is not the goal, but like for photographers, we just added something where you can tag your model in your photos now, and you can also tag what character they're being.
Really?
As a specific thing. So like now their stuff will, like that image, if you take a picture of, Stella as Akali, from, like if you search Akali, you'll find it. Or if you search Stella, you'll find it. Or if you search Martin Wong, you'll find it, so like.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really cool. But we're trying to find ways to really support creators of all different types and all different aspects of that creation. So whether you're a model or you're a character designer or you're a photographer, all of those will come up in the same spot, which is pretty cool.
But yes, what? I'm sorry, I have so many questions about DeviantArt, but
fire away, man. Yeah, I'll answer whatever.
I feel like at this point I have to tell people it's like this is not a pay podcast by DeviantArt or anything. I just met this as a good friends of mine.
Yeah, no. When I started at DeviantArt, I was like, who we need to talk to is Martin. So like that feeling of friendship and respect.
And then when you saw me at an event, as you both went to, I was like, I had a lot of drink, but I'm pretty sure Matt just told me that he does DeviantArt now. I wasn't sure. I was like, I was playing Smash while getting smashed. Like I was like drinking a lot.
That was a fun event.
Oh, it was fun, yeah. But I was like the next morning, it's like, pretty sure he said he's at DeviantArt and he wanna have me to come in and have a talk like for projects. Like, what? Was I drunk? And then I got your text like, oh no, that was cool. That was real.
Yeah. No, one of the big things that we're really trying to do is we're working to create the best spot on the internet for artists. That's not like a marketing thing. That's just a thing that we believe in. And again,
how though? Like why? Like what? Other than like those
going
features.
Back, we're less than 100 people globally managing a network. Like we have to believe that. We have to believe that we're doing something for like good to want to do it. And so every aspect of what we're doing is working towards that. So one of the things that we're doing there is reaching out to creators like yourself and making sure that like we bring you in and talk to you about like what you need, what we could do better for you. Because like if the site doesn't work for you, there are infinite other social platforms or places, like whether you have a website or not, that you could post your stuff. Why should you be on DeviantArt? We want to make sure that you have a valid reason to do that.
This is a great question to ask. Like any company, they should ask themselves like, why should people care and why do they use
we think that time is like such a huge asset, like such a valuable thing for everyone, right? Like if you only have X amount of time, there's no way that you can gain more time. So uploading, like if I upload to, like if I'm an artist and I want to upload my piece to be seen, I'm uploading to Instagram, Twitter, DeviantArt, Facebook, maybe like Animo or Tumblr if I'm really trying.
Is Flickr still a thing?
it
as much of
I don't
photography,
know.
but I think they got
But
closed down. I forgot, but
yeah,
yes.
so like there are a lot of places where I can do it. So
Hmm.
why am I making the time to post to all of those? Or why is DeviantArt in my top group of those to post to? It has to have a
Hmm.
reason. And so we're trying to make that reason apparent by doing it right.
Mm.
And if we can form a community where you can talk with other artists, where you can be seen, where you can be discovered, where you can accomplish whatever goal you have, because every artist has different goals,
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
we're doing our job right. And
Hmm.
if we do our job right, then like people will be on the site and we don't have to say like, we don't have to make it into something where we're trying to bring people in or show value because the value is just there for you.
Hmm.
And so we're working really hard at that. That's a big part of like you mentioned earlier, Eclipse, which is what we're currently titling the beta for the new DeviantArt, is a big step for us. It's our first big change in a long time.
It looks
And
amazing.
thanks, like a team in Tel Aviv did a lot of work, a team in Kiev did a lot of work, and we did a lot of work in LA.
Yeah, like
Vancouver team did a
because
lot
for
of
the
work.
longest time, DeviantArt looked the same, and it was great when it first came out. It was great for the first 10 years, maybe.
And I mean, I love the nostalgia.
Uh-huh.
Fan of the 90s. Yesterday, I queued up different songs from the 90s and saw if the younger employees knew who they were. One of our
Mm-hmm.
employees didn't know who the Gin Blocks were. It broke my
Ah,
heart.
ah.
Um, but
Fire him.
yeah, it was great at a time. But like, there's so much
Hmm.
more that we can do for artists. And where that
Yeah.
site was at that point, the future isn't really there for artists. The things that
Hmm.
artists need, we can't do with that site.
Hmm.
And so we need to bring a new site to people to help them continue to be artists in 2020 and the future. And a lot of that is stuff that we've researched. We've worked with a ton of artists. We've filed so many feedbacks. We have eclipsefeedback.com, which I send out hundreds of times a day. And it's just a place where we collect every feedback. And if people file stuff there, it goes to the right teams and guaranteed it's read by a person every single time.
That's awesome.
So there are people who work really hard and just read those things. It's
And again, you
crazy.
guys only have like what, less than 100 people.
Less than 100 people, but like we're trying to do it right. And we think it's vital to do it right because that's our responsibility as the top art community. Like that's what we have to do. If we were going at it for any other reason, it wouldn't it and we wouldn't be doing it and DeviantArt still wouldn't be around after nearly 20 years. Like it wouldn't have made it this far. But the people working here and the people who worked here even before me, like they all cared that same way. And that's why the site still exists.
That's awesome. That's uh unfortunately rare, but it shouldn't be.
It is unfortunately rare, but like I want to pull back even another layer of transparency if you don't mind
Of
of
course, go
something that I
ahead.
think that we did really cool that like so a lot of times when a company works with another company,
Hmm.
you end up creating something that's crowdsourced, right? Like, I
Hmm.
want to make this thing, and you're going to create fan art for this, and only the top three get a prize.
Hmm.
And those top three are generally people who are very, very great at art. And that's awesome because it's a contest, and contests have to be skill based or have
Hmm.
like different criteria you can judge on just legally. It's very
Hmm.
tough. You can't have like a raffle or sweepstakes if you're international because
That wouldn't
it's
be a contest. That
legal.
would just, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's very tricky legal stuff. And
Yeah.
so one of the things that we did is we've started working with different companies on things where there are other judging criteria and there are other things that we can do. So one of them is the original character. And for the original character challenge, we've partnered currently with Wacom, who makes a bunch of drawing tablets and products and screens to create digital art. And we help educate people on how to do character design. And it's not
Mm.
just a contest about make a character, it's prepping you for content briefs and character briefs of
Mm.
make this character, it's maybe a space pirate. And the
Mm.
space pirate has a lucky hat, it has a trusty weapon, and it has a family crest.
Mm.
So much like how if you were working for a video game company or a movie company or a comic book, they might say, here's our character. They've got this, this, and this. Now draw it for us. We're giving
Mm.
them that sort of prompt. Now, what's
Mm.
special about that is that's not a character that exists anywhere. And so at the end of the contest, you as an artist still retain all rights to the character you created because
Mm.
you 100% created that character. It's not like we asked you to draw Mickey.
An IP that exists. Yeah.
Exactly. And so you can make a comic book with that character after you've done it. You can do whatever you want. You own that character. So then to go even further, we've got 3 funnels of how you can win. So you might win off of being the best technical artist. It might be very gorgeous, beautiful art. You did a great job. Awesome. Like top tier, maybe you win like a top of the line Cintiq. But you look at this middle tier, it's on creativity. So maybe you're not like technically an amazing artist, but your idea is really spectacular. You came up with the fact that these things and that just blew our mind. You win that same prize. You can win a top of the line Cintiq. So maybe if you're an up and coming artist, you now have a tool that can help you elevate your art.
To get to that point. Yeah.
Exactly. And then third, we always bring in a guest judge, an example artist, and they set their own parameters. So maybe like it's like we want someone who has really intricate details to them, or like some background that's based off of a real life
color
culture.
use or something.
Yeah, and so they can judge on their own thing, and the top person of that still gets that top prize. And then there's still a second prize and a third prize across all of those, but they're all equally weighted and prized. So no longer do you have to just be the best of the best to win anything. We can now provide tools to people.
Because you guys show how much passion you all have for art and for for this kind of community. I think that does translate really well for other partners that you brings on. Like Wacom or any one of them. Again, also Wacom. Are we sure? Not Wacom. Wacom. Are we sure?
I always say Wacom. I mean, I could be wrong. Who knows? They really only ever text it to me. So.
They never reply my Twitter. I really want to know. Because I have heard it from multiple people, okay?
Did you see what Ubisoft did with it?
No.
Have you ever seen that video? Ubisoft did a whole video where they employees say the company name, and half of them are saying Ubisoft and half are saying Ubisoft.
You're right. I didn't even think about it.
It was hilarious.
So I think it's also cultural based too. Like for example, just two are really significant to me because in America we say Uber and Skype, right?
Yeah.
My friends and family in Hong Kong, they call it Uber and Skype. Skype, I know.
Nope.
Yeah, right. I was like, get out of here. Like
I don't often say this, but they're wrong.
They're wrong. But spelling wise, like Skype, I'm like, okay, I can see why. But
and then a P and then an E.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, exactly. I understand. I get it. But some of the words actually English I don't understand too. But I have like wafers over there, like wafers, crackers.
Yeah.
The other day I wasn't sure. I was like, why did I call wafers? Like waffles. But apparently you need 2 F's. I don't know. I'm just saying like. Webcam, I don't care. Just draw some cool stuff. I
mean, they can send us a voice thing, and
I know, right? Like, I really want to just go all the way up to the CEO and say, "Hey, what is it?" Like
with a microphone to his face. Mm-hmm. Pronounce it now.
Yeah, it's like GIF and GIF.
Well, that the creator of that has been fairly open about how they pronounce it.
They say, and people still debate it, and they still won't take that as an answer. Which is kind of stupid.
I mean, I believe it because like I don't like GIF. I like GIF. So
yeah, Sam.
The creator can say whatever they want.
No,
it's like my last name, right? It's like my last name. In Germany, Buchholtz. In my family, Buchholtz. So say whatever you want.
That's awesome. But yeah, I just went over there because I got this little notebook.
Oh yeah, those sketchbooks are so nice, man. Like I'm envious. Yeah. Like they're gone now, and. Those ones are really good.
I still have one here, guys. Do you guys want it?
The paperweight is great on those.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah, I was like, at first I was like, oh, it's just a normal notebook. I was like, oh no,
it doesn't leak ink. It doesn't leak ink through it. Like when you draw like Copics and whatnot, it doesn't soak through. So I'm always really happy.
It's amazing. Anyway, that was great. I know. Again, I'm going way over time than I expected, which is not a problem. Hopefully, you enjoyed that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, before you go, where can we find you? I don't have to tell people where to find DeviantArts. It's just deviantarts.com and DeviantArts on everything. Even on Twitch now, after trademark battle.
Even on Twitch. And on TikTok.
And on TikTok.
They were so easy. We've never posted there, but I definitely have that account on lockdown.
So you don't have to go through the whole
Yeah, I don't want to deal with it later.
Please, yeah, don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Matt, how do we find you?
Okay, so you can find me across anywhere at GGMattB. It's very easy. You don't even have to worry about my last name.
Don't. That's,
GGMattB.
GGMattB.
On Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, DeviantArt, Twitch, YouTube. No, not YouTube. YouTube is completely different. I'm wrong, but I don't use it, so it's fine.
That's fine. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. I had a great time. And you share lots of knowledge, and not just knowledge, insight, and also perspective that I enjoy.
Well, thank you for having me, dude. I always have a great time. You gotta come.
I need to come by the office sometimes
again and hang out sometime in the future.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
People in chat are saying my name. Yeah, there it is.
I know. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We all had a great time. I will be on here again on Tuesday, next Tuesday. I'm doing every Tuesday, Wednesday now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dude, can we get a sneak peek? Who's your guest?
Yes, next Tuesday I will have Ryan Brandt, an amazing cosplayer. Also a good friend of mine. You might also know someone called Jessica Negri. So never heard of it's a small name.
You introduced me to Jessica like the day after we met. That was a fun one. Yeah. Well, she came in, remember? The Battle on the Strip.
Oh yeah.
You introduced me to Jessica and Stella within like a week, and I was like, this is a lot for me.
But here's the thing, they're great people. Like it's just
amazing people, but like I should have been because I was very nervous talking to people who do such excellent craftsmanship.
They're great.
Like they both work so hard at what they do. It's amazing.
And Ryan's gonna talk to me about it because he makes amazing armor for the longest time too.
Yes.
So that would be an interesting talk. I also have you heard of this host gamer person called Pamela Horton?
Oh yeah. Of course.
Yeah, she was on Wednesday.
She just had a terrifying surgery.
She keep dying, and I please don't die. She's going.
She's awesome though. At multiple conventions, she's been the person in line behind me. I've never introduced myself, but I'm always like, I know who you are, in a not creepy way.
It's always a weird time because when you see, and you're in line too, because here's the thing. You
don't want to bother people.
Yeah, and here's the thing. What if you said something awkward and then, because I'm saying my perspective, not you. I'm sure you'll do great, but if I meet someone that I want to say hi, but if I say something stupid, but now I'm stuck in line, do I get out of line based on what I did? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you gotta leave. If you're the one who says something stupid, you have to leave line.
But I waited for an hour in line for something I want.
You should have said something stupid, Martin.
Yep, that's your own fault. Yep. So yeah, I'm gonna have Ryan and Pamela on for next week. Hopefully, she'll be able to do it as well. We'll see. If not, no problem. I'm sure I'll have to talk to her sometime too. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining, and have a great night. Yeah. All right. See ya.